Apple, maple syrup, amazing together. Why not throw some cherries in there as well to make a party? So we're gonna do an apple and cherry strudel. This is not gonna be your classic strudel. Number one, we're using phyllo pastry. Phyllo pastry is a little bit lighter. There's not as much butter, or there's no butter in the phyllo, as a puff pastry would have. And it gets still a really nice flakiness to it. And as well, we're gonna make them a little smaller. We're gonna put them in muffin tins.
For portion control.
Portion control, yeah. I don't usually
Still
like
a dessert, but rich in fruit. You know, we're cutting the fat as well, so trying to elixify a typical recipe.
And so what we're doing is putting a little bit of maple syrup into a pan, and you can see it's already started to bubble. Once it starts bubbling like that, we're gonna throw in our diced apples, a little bit of lemon juice, and some cinnamon if you like. If you like cardamom, why not? Nutmeg, you can do. So just a little bit in. And I didn't put it on the recipe, but what's nice with this as well is a little bit of fresh ginger. The heat, I know, you're gonna, no, it's the heat. The heat will actually mellow out very nicely, and when it's baked with a little bit of maple syrup and the apples, you're just gonna get a lot of that fragrance, that floral quality that ginger has. I know, it sounds a little off.
Ginger for a cold. I don't know that it's been proven, but definitely it has some antibacterial properties to it.
Yeah.
So we like to add it to our recipes whenever possible, along with, you know, the old standbys, garlic, onions, all been shown to promote our immune system.
And so I've got it on the stove. We're gonna put it over medium heat. This is gonna take about 10 minutes to soften. I don't really have to add any liquid to it. The liquid from the apples is gonna start coming out, and I still have that maple syrup in there. So just gentle heat, 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, just until it softens. And you have this, you know, kind of soft, beautiful apple deliciousness going on here. And what we're gonna do is add some cherries. Now I've used frozen cherries. I love using frozen cherries. There's nothing wrong with frozen fruits and vegetables. We talk about that all the time. Usually they're fresher than what you're gonna buy in the grocery store anyways. They're picked when they're in season. They're frozen at most an hour after they're picked. And they're local. I mean, almost all the frozen, well, not
Check it out.
mangoes.
Check out your label. It has to say on the back where it's been grown.
Your blueberries, right? Your blueberries, your cherries. You can find Canadian products, which is fantastic. So we have some really nice frozen cherries here. Probably wouldn't use a wooden board like I'm using now, because it's gonna be pretty difficult to get that red out after. But we're gonna just roughly chop them up a little bit. And you can mix this up with, you know, when apricots are in season, use fresh apricots. Pears are beautiful too in this. So we're just gonna mix a little bit of that in. And while I'm doing the rest of that, I'm gonna get Chrissy to do a couple layers of phyllo for me. And usually when you do the phyllo, it's melted butter in between that fat. Once it hits the heat of the oven is what gives it that puff, what gives it that flakiness and creates a little bit of a separation. But we can mimic that really with any type of fat. We're not going to mimic the flavor of butter with grapeseed oil, but we're looking for, I'm not looking for the butter flavor. I want the maple syrup, I want the apple flavor, I want the cherry.
The puffy crispness.
And we're going to get the puffy crispness. So we're actually using, like we talked about before, grapeseed oil. It's a neutral oil. I like using it for baking because you don't taste the oil. It's not competing. Probably wouldn't use olive oil. Actually, I probably would use olive oil, but I wouldn't suggest using olive oil with this just because you're going to be competing flavor. And
you don't want an olivey dessert usually, but it's up to you, right?
So just a little drizzle, and Chrissy's just gonna brush that on. We're gonna do about 4 to 5 layers. It's perfect for that. And then, that's perfect. And pretty much, so let's say we've done all 4 or 5 layers, because then we're running out of time. We're gonna slice each layer, depending on the size of your muffin tin there. So let's, you know, and then what's nice about it is it doesn't have to be perfect. You kind of just push it in. Okay?
Rustic baking
Very
at the Elixir Kitchen. It tastes better when it's rustic looking, I think.
I did not do so well at baking in culinary school. It's just too precise, too many measurements, too many measuring cups. I don't even own any measuring cups in this kitchen. I probably I do. So that's it. And we're gonna get a little bit of that filling in there. That's got the maple syrup, the apples, the cinnamon, the ginger, the cherries. And then you can leave it like that, or you can kind of just take
Fold
those
it
extra
in.
edges, yeah,
Cool.
and pack it in like that, and finish the rest. That goes in the oven. About 350 for about 20 minutes, or you can even do 375 a little bit quicker for about 12 minutes. And you're getting, I ate all of these before you guys came. Beautiful golden brown, nice crispiness. And you scoop them up, and you have this beautiful, and we'll put some right here. And I mean, these are very small. You can do the bigger muffin tins. Just don't tell Christy. She won't
Share
approve.
with a friend.
That's it. Very simple. Nice little snack. You have your maple syrup. You have your fruit. And if you're doing a dessert, it's a little bit. We're using a better sugar there. We're not using we're better sweetener, and we're targeting some seasonal ingredients, right? So that's really what you want to do. See what's fresh, and you can use this recipe for anything, really.